Hello, it's Natalie and this is my hair dye setup. Here we have some of our tools, our clips, our Vaseline, which is essential. Vaseline goes around the perimeter of your hairline on your skin to protect your skin from being stained by the dye. This is super important. These are the hair dyes that I use. I usually use 2 of 660 and 1 360 to get a unique color. I was scared to do complete light intense auburn, so I usually do 360, but today I want to go a little bit brighter, take a little bit more of a risk. This is the mixing bowl I use, and I just use this to mix it because I just apply it with my hands, which you'll see. For our hair dye process, it's going to take about an hour and a half to dye the whole thing before we wash it out. I start with the back because the back takes longer to process, and then I go to the middle, then to the sides because the sides process very fast. And then I go back over everything, make sure the hairline is covered last because that also processes really fast. Then we're going to sit with that. Then in the last 20 minutes of us sitting with it, we're going to go over the rest of the hair. So that's the middle of the hair towards the ends. We covered the roots. Now we just want to make sure everything is even. So let's get this thing started. We're going to open up our package. It comes with the developer, which is step 1, the colorant, which is step 2, and my favorite step of all, this luscious conditioner. I love her. I wish I could find her in stores. So we're just going to open up each tube. The colorant has to be punctured, and the top comes with a spike to do that. So we just push down and it's opened. And now we place the colorant into the developer. Just squeeze it in there. And you want to make sure you get it all. I literally get every single drop of colorant into my developer. I waste none. I have a lot of hair, so we're going to need all that we can get, okay? Squeeze it. Then you're going to put the top back on and give it a good shake. And this will change the color. You see the color changing. This is my third dye, so we're just going to do it again. That beautiful conditioner. So we open up developer, puncture the colorant, and then we just squeeze the colorant into the developer. Make sure we get it all out of the tube. We have our instructions just to keep us going. Shake that. Make sure that's all even. Now you see me taking my colors because I want an even color. I mix the 2 660s and the 1 460 all together in my mixing bowl. Get it all out of the bottle. I give it a few shakes and a few pats and taps. And now we just want to mix it so we're getting all of the colors, all of the elements just in there together. And this is also going to do what the shaking didn't accomplish, you know, if we missed anything. During this time, I had COVID-19, and it was so rough. It was so terrible. So I was really proud of myself for even doing this. By the time I decided to dye my hair, it was the 3rd week of me having it, and I was literally over it. I was over it, okay? Our hair is already sectioned. We have 4 sections in the back, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, 2 middle sections, and then 2 side sections. Michael Jackson was getting me in that mood, okay? I was recovering from C19, and I really just needed that energy boost, so that playlist was going, okay? Now we're just applying it to the roots. We're starting in one of the 4 back sections and we're just getting it on the roots, like the direction said in the beginning. We're really just working it in, massaging it in, making sure that all of the roots are covered. It's okay if during this time I miss any parts, because at the end we're gonna go back over everything. So now we're moving to the other side, the bottom corner, getting all of those roots coated. Really raking it in there. I told you I had the C19, okay? So I didn't have too much strength to really detangle my hair. It is as detangled as it was going to be. But this dye really penetrates, so I had no doubt that it was going to do what it needs to do. But definitely, please, don't be like me. Detangle your hair. Please detangle your hair. Please detangle your hair, okay? Now we're on the 3rd section in the back. Still getting those roots. And remember, I'm doing the back roots first because on my head, they take the longest to develop. And I'm separating the hair to make sure I'm getting in between the sections. So all the parts, not just the perimeter, but actually inside. And you want to take your time with this. You don't really want to rush this process. Just take your time. Put on a nice playlist and just relax. Take your time. Enjoy this time with yourself. This is the final section in the back. I think I separated it into 2 to make it easier. Okay, so now we're in the middle section. Now we're in the middle section, and clearly you see I'm making a mess, but I separated the middle section into 2 just to make it easier because I have thick hair and I want to make sure every part is coated. And it's okay if during this time when I'm supposed to be just targeting the roots, it's okay that the dye is getting on the middle section of the hair. It's not the end of the world. It's not ideal in my head just because I have a set rule of how things should go, but yeah, it's okay. Just being very patient. You have to be very patient during this process because you don't want to be careless and miss any spots. You don't want spotty hair. You do not want spotty hair. I want these 2 pieces in the front to be brighter, so I'm using the 660, a little bit that's left over, on these 2 front pieces just to get it slightly brighter in the front. So now we're on the other middle section doing the same thing. Massaging those roots, coating those roots. And you see me leaning over because I'm trying to make sure any dye that falls goes on the towel. I have white floors in my bathroom and this literally terrifies my mom. because I made a mess. I think this was one of the messiest hair dye sessions I've ever had. Now that the two middle sections are done, we're going to the two side sections. Those develop the fastest in my opinion. Sometimes I use the brush just to make sure that I'm coating every single part, but I rather use my hands. But sometimes the brush makes me feel official, so I use the brush so I can feel like I'm not a fraud. And now we're taking all four of those back sections and just putting them together. You may be like, Natalie, what was the point of having four sections in the first place? Well, because my hair is dense and I need to section it in order to get an even hair dye. So now we're combining the middle sections with their side section. Making sure every root is coated with hair dye. I made a mess. Look at my skin. I did not put Vaseline on my cheeks, so I needed to get this off my face ASAP. So we're just gonna put on plastic caps. I put on 2 plastic caps. And now we're gonna go for 30 minutes. Let this sit for 30 minutes. We're gonna get a snack and chill out. Now we're back, clearly with a whole different vibe. And we're bringing the hair dye, the rest of the hair dye, down to the ends of the hair. And you may ask, why do I do this? One time I didn't do this and I noticed that the ends of my hair were more of the faded color instead of the freshly new hair dyed color. So I just put it on for the last 10 minutes of the process and then I go rinse everything out. And I feel like that just gives me a completely even hair color. It just makes everything even and vibrant. Kind of like when you haven't done your hair in a while, you kind of forget how to do it. I haven't dyed my hair since every time I do it, it's far in between 4 to 6 months. What am I doing? I haven't blow dried my hair in like, I don't know, like maybe 2 months. So it's like, what do I need? What do I need? It's a learning journey, you know? It's like at school, you gotta study, you remind yourself. So don't feel any pressure of like, you always feel like you never know what you're doing, because that's kind of the point. If you ever get bored and you like get into this like autopilot routine, maybe you should switch it up to make it more fun, so you can actually like your hair again. Just saying. We washed out the conditioner, and honestly, I don't know what color she is. Every time I do her, it's kind of like every time that I do my hair, I dye it, it's a different color. And I just love it. I just go with the flow. It doesn't really matter. Don't put too much pressure on it. That's how I have fun with it. At the end of the day, is it really gonna look bad? No. While we were gone, we rinsed out the dye, applied the conditioner, and rinsed out the conditioner. I did that all off camera just to save some time.
But look at my hair, it's so juicy, it's so vibrant, it's so moisturized, it looks so freaking good. Okay, don't judge me guys, but I use 3 leave-ins. Now, with my hair being natural, plus it being dyed, it needs to be hydrated. So I do not take the chance of, okay, just using 1, all I need is 1. No, I use 3. Okay, I'm not saying you need 3, but I use 3. Then I also use a cream after. So I do the LCO method, leave-in cream oil. And honestly, it's been keeping my hair really hydrated. I don't have much breakage ever. That also has to do with hairstyles though, but I just keep my hair hydrated. That is key to growing your hair and keeping its length. Well, not growing your hair. That is key to having length retention. To keeping your hair long. Like if your hair breaks because it's dry, you're not going to see any length. Doesn't mean your hair is not growing. It just means you're not seeing length. So I use this Cantu thermal heat spray. It works. It's not my favorite, but it works. So now we're just gonna blow dry my hair. Do you see this color? It looks so good already. It looks so vibrant. I don't even have my ring light. This is just the light in my bathroom. And I'm doing a twist out. So I'm blow drying my hair. As soon as I'm done with the section, I'm putting it in twist. So I can show you at the end my beautiful twist out.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
You're the one I want to want me. It's nothing I know I wouldn't do. So, are we loving her? No, seriously? Are we not loving? Are we not loving this color? I literally love this color.
She's so cute. So that's the end of this video. You just gotta trust the process. Pieces in the front, they aren't lighter. They're slightly lighter. You have to see it in person and maybe in the sun. That's okay. We had the intention of doing something a little risky. Not really, just because it didn't turn out the way that we hoped for, like exactly. We should still be proud of ourselves, and I hope that this encourages you to take more chances with your hair. And I know like it could be scary because it's like, oh my gosh, what if? But what if it turns out nice? And what if you love it? Even if it's not exactly what you hoped for. And now you know what to do better and what not to do. So it's all a learning experience. Honestly though, it's kind of on my scalp. So when I wash my hair, it's like lift off a little bit and neutralize a little bit more. And leave a comment if you're gonna dye your hair, if you ever tried the hair colors that I've done, what's been stopping you from taking risks with your hair. Thank you for watching. I'll be back just for you. So make sure you're back just for me, okay?